City Crafters, my name is Callie Works-Leary and I am the owner and founder of City Craft Modern Fabric Boutique located in Dallas, Texas, and also on the World Wide Web at citycraftonline.com. And today I wanted to share with you a brief, more of an idea, not necessarily a tutorial. There's not too many technical steps on it, but I do have some suggestions for success and also just some great ideas on how to create a super chic baby blanket. This is a really cute, what we call pop of neon baby blanket. I'll hold it up so you can see kind of the size. It is definitely longer than it is wide, and we've created this original design a little modeled after a stroller blanket. Typically stroller blankets are about 30 by 40 based on how much our flannel shrunk when we pre-washed it. This ended up being a little bit less than that. I think this one ended up being, after trimming, we got about 25 by 34. So it didn't shrink that many inches, but I trimmed it up to get it really nice and even and crisp, and that's about where I got. So this is a really cute blanket, makes a great gift, and it incorporates a major trend right now, which is neon colors. Michael Miller Fabrics are actually coming out with a new line of neon solids and neon prints, and that's going to be coming out next month. But until then, we've been having a little bit of fun playing around with some neon serger thread. And this is a wonderful way to give a little pop of neon to any of your sewing projects, and we decided to use that here as a really fun way to bind this baby blanket. This baby blanket was created using two different fabrics that we carry. This is the Vanessa Christensen V&Co Gray Chevron by Moda Fabrics, and we used this a quilt weight cotton, which we used on the front of the blanket. And then we backed the blanket with a super soft, really good quality flannel by Robert Kaufman, and I believe this is in the snow color, which is a little bit of an off-white, so works really well. It's a little bit of a softer white. So super simple way we cut this out. After pre-washing our fabrics, we put our fabrics wrong sides together. In this case, we're working with a solid flannel, so there is no right and wrong side, and we put it together just as we would see the blanket as a finished product. And then to keep the two layers together, we decided to put in a few rows of quilting to give it a little bit of stability. We did that with some of the chevron pattern lines, and we only did about 4 or 5 lines of quilting. When you're working with baby blankets, the more that you quilt, whether you're making a quilt or a blanket, the stiffer the final product's going to be. I like my baby blankets to be soft and malleable, and so I tend to quilt a little bit less than I would, for example, for say a quilted playmat. So after quilting this, I cut some curves on the corners. I really like to cut curves. I think it softens the project a little bit. It gives a little bit more of a baby feel, and it's a cute customization to your project. And then finally, to finish this quilt, we simply did a rolled hem, a serge roll hem with our serger here. We worked with a Janome 634D, and this is our favorite entry-level serger. We switched out our typically white thread that we keep in the serger with this fun maxi lock neon thread. For this particular project, we wanted to make it for a little girl. We decided to use neon pink serger thread, which is a really nice contrast to the gray. For these projects, you can use any color combination. There are no rules, of course. You can use your imagination. We like to keep the base neutral to let the neon pop a little more. This is also a fun project if you don't know what the gender of the baby is going to be, so you can pre-quilt this fabric and then wait until you find out if it's a boy or girl, and then simply finish it in one step with the serger. I'm actually going to show you what we did to serge the edges of this quilt, and this is a really fast way to finish a baby blanket rather than binding it. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is I used a printable corner template to round my corners. I've been using this for a while, so now I kind of know I can do it by hand without using it. but this is a free corner template that I downloaded from www.thesplitstitch.com. Split stitch corner rounding template, and this is a great thing to keep in your sewing area so that you can always round your corners of different projects easily. For this particular project, we're sewing a 34 by 34 baby blanket. This is both sides with Robert Kaufman. It's called Cozy Cotton. It's a type, that's the brand name, but it's a really cozy flannel. And we are doing the gray on both sides. So we put it wrong sides together. We trimmed it down to 34 by 34. You can use any dimension that you like. But we wanted this to be more of a swaddling blanket or something to wrap the baby in versus a blanket that you'd put in a stroller. We have set our serger to a 4-thread rolled hem. When you're doing a serge rolled hem, you can use as few as 2 threads, but we liked the I wouldn't say bulkiness, but we liked a little bit more heft that the 4-thread gave. So we have set our stitch length. For this particular project, I'm going to set it down to 1. That way we get a really tight stitch and a lot of the thread can be seen, so it's very distinctive. Our machine is set up and it's completely ready to go. We're simply going to, I've pinned it sparingly, typically when I'm working with a serger project, so I don't accidentally serge over any pins, which is a big no-no for sergers. I just pin sparingly to keep the 2 layers together. The sergers feed very evenly, so they tend to keep your 2 layers of fabric together much better. I'm simply going to feed it into the serger. Okay, now we're preparing to get to our curve. And curves and corners can be a little bit tricky on your serger. When you're navigating around this corner, my advice would be to just take it slow, put your needle down and pivot if and when you need to. Don't worry if the first couple times you try it, there's a few little gaps in your stitches where you've pivoted. This is totally normal and your curves will even out with practice. Okay, so once you've gone all the way around your project, you're just going to gradually, I usually gradually just work my way off, trim the threads, and then secure it with a little bit of fray check so it doesn't fray in the wash. But once you're done, you have a very, very cute and cuddly pop of neon baby blanket.